There we go. A nice early start to the day in New Hampshire. Well, I've been thinking about this for a bit, and it's time to return to the abyss. If you didn't see the videos from last year, at the very end of this video, I'll put a link. Just look for it. It says 6 days in the abyss, where we, well, spent 6 days out here straight, exploring and detecting for old sites. And I'm just starting right on this line. As you can see, this section was the hell is that? This section was cleared, I don't know, probably a dozen years ago. This was not. But the peculiar thing woodpeckers. So the peculiar thing is, we're coming off of a hill up here where there's an established home site, was occupied for a long time, and then as you come down into the pit, there's a couple of interesting walls out here that kind of don't fit the rest of this immediate area. That's where I'm going to start, and then we'll explain more as we, well, get involved. I plan on spending the next few days out here, the next few videos, because my guess is, if I'm lucky, and I'll show you, everything is budding. So I probably have 7 to 10 days before, pretty much in a section like this, visibility is gone. And here's one of our walls. It actually, well, depending on how you look at it, it begins and ends right here, and then there's another one over there. And it's intriguing because it's, well, both walls are open-ended. They were done without compass. These are not south, north, east, west walls. They're just off from everything else out here. And a few things have been found detecting in this one little area, and you can see it's, you know, it's not smooth, clean land, but apparently people were doing things out here. And so here's the plan. We're gonna walk around in between these two walls. It's probably, I don't know, only a couple hundred feet in between, and they only go a few hundred feet that way. I'm just gonna walk around, detect for a few, and we're gonna take our time today, especially with the video. I'm gonna really give it to you guys so you can see it out here. We're gonna push further out into areas I have not, because the place is just huge and gotta see it. So let's go. So written history of this area tells us that people were trickling in about the 1730s. More back there, but close enough, general area. And most of them had left going into the early 1800s. So a lot of the land out here is not really improved, and the roads weren't improved, so there's just bits and pieces of the cart path that we can find. It's just all broken apart. It's difficult to read in a lot of ways. But just like where we are right now, two oddball walls in the middle of nothing, and it's Shotgun Willie, 6 inches deep. Nice. Typical, right? And then the other interesting layer of this area is by the Great Depression, there was less than 50 people in this town, but there was lots of cabins. They must have been practically giving the land away. So between old home sites and cabins and loggers' landings, there's possibilities. Okay, I just swung all the way across this thing. Pretty rough. No nail iron, nothing. Obviously one rip across doesn't tell you much of everything, but now we enter. So the river, it's a brook. I can hear it down there. It basically cuts this entire place in half. And through our previous trips, we have found 3 old stone colonial bridges spread extremely far apart, showing that people were moving through here. Well, being that I'm on this side, I guess I'm gonna skirt it and go that way. It's a heavily traveled game trail. There's our divider. That's the thing out here. It's rugged, but things pop out and surprise you at times. Just like a couple of the bridges of last year, or you come across a pile of loggers, camp debris, stack rocks. You just never can tell. Well, let's see how far we can get that way. And I didn't stick around up where the walls were, because I'm really, again, not so much out to find things as I am to just get in here. But I figure with those walls being up there and the space back to the river, it's a pretty curious area. Oh, this is thick. Yeah, this isn't too bad. And so we skirt river behind us, logged area up there. So you kind of use this as the example of what it could have looked like up there, you know, and where those two walls are before they slashed it. So I just skirted my way into another section that had been logged. There's some stacked rocks. So that's a good sign. And in the middle of nowhere. Figured cut my way through the edge of this back into the wood line, but didn't expect to see rocks out here like that. Well, there's the signs of long time ago logging. Actually, there's a fair amount of it back here. This is always something too that, you know, we add up to the cumulative of information of land accessibility these guys were getting out here. Probably, you know, 30s, 40s. Because with the river, some iron, and the rest of the awful terrain, it's not all easily accessible. Oh yeah, look at that. And a common find at logger sites. Big, heavy, braided cable wire. Well, a few 100 feet off, I found ruts where the loggers were coming in. So we just came from back there. We'll go that way. No kidding. Rock wall. So loggers' ruts come right in here, and as always, they seem to find the path of least resistance and find areas that somebody else worked. Well, that's a good thing. And it's actually an end cornerstone right there. There's nothing heading beyond it. So they must have followed it down and right in there. I'll swing along the wall. It definitely skirts where it was logged, you know, in recent times, and it just goes to show you with the accessibility thing, they all come in and work the same places over and over for a reason. And then that doesn't help. It is about 80 feet of wall. It ends right here. Like I said, the stuff just pops out and kind of surprises you out here. Huh. Well, it's warming up. We still have a lot of walking to do. See? Right there. Stacked rocks, middle of nowhere. Iron. What I'm looking at. It's big. Oh my God, I can't even move it. It's either an oxen shoe or a horseshoe. Yep, another strip of wall. And it ends right there. That's what drives me nuts about this out here. Somebody took the time. I don't know. I'm gonna stay right here for a bit and swing around. Because again, people, work, time. Let's see what that is. There is actually a pile of stacked rocks to the right of me. So at least there's a little bit more consistency in this area because of the first strip of wall and the last stack of rocks were pretty far apart and a ways away from here. Out here. I am picking up nails every now and then too. Oxen shoe. It was about an hour between that spike thing and that. So it's just really quiet. Well, I did accomplish a bit today of what I wanted to. I found where people were doing things out here. And it's been 4 hours, so it's not like I just walked out into the woods, found a little spot. I have been moving about, but the way I would describe this place and why it drives me crazy in a good way is it has a very incomplete feeling to it. So somebody made their way all the way out here from, you know, on the outskirts of the abyss. There's proper farms, heavily worked, and then you get out in here and you find pockets with 60 feet of wall. I ended up finding 3 piles of rocks. So somebody, again, was out here making the attempt to start to clear it. An iron spike, we did see a horseshoe back there, an oxen shoe, and a few nails. Why did they just do that? And it's not like it's just one spot like this out here. There's lots of little incomplete pieces. Yeah, fascinating area, without a doubt. Smells funny out here today. All right, making my way down to the river where we will begin. Okay, I mean, I began back there, but we're really beginning here at the river. Day 2 in the abyss. We're out looking for old places, whether they're settler sites, hunting cabins, loggers' landings, anything where people did stuff in the past, and we will detect what we find. So, in the last video, we were on that side of the river, and we did a big stretch from somewhere up in there to way down there. Well, today I've crossed over where there used to be a bridge from the colonial days, and now we go that way. I'm definitely excited and curious because, you know, we've come down here and followed this cart path off to the south where there's definitely established home sites, but it's, again, getting on this side of the river, but going that way. No idea, and that's why it's going to be fun. So as we walk along on the what's now trail, my thought and curiosity is, was it old cart path? And right now, am I seeing this veer off the trail? Watch my cuff. Is that a shoulder? So is that cart path overgrown, heading into the woods? It could be logging ruts too, but I don't know. Let's go look. And I think one of the things that we figured out last year with the topographic maps showing loggers camps out here, they would have been logging before they had vehicles. So they still would have been using, you know, horse-drawn wagons and such. So you could have ruts out here that may not be more than 100 years old, or roughly whatever it is. And you can see it with the stump. That stump is ancient, cut forever ago. And more than likely the loggers would have used whatever cart paths they had access to. So if they were out here logging 100 years ago, they would have been in the 80, 90 year window of abandonment, and that would have been the time to cut again. So I think the cart paths would have been still pretty easy to find and access. Well, it just seems to lead down to here with a couple big stumps, and maybe that's exactly why there's ruts coming in here. And that would have been a pretty good sized tree to come in and grab. Getting mushy. Everything's just leading down to the river. I'll tell you, if this was a cart path, it sure took an awful route. Definitely still loggers' ruts. Well, that's better. Then again, as we know, it may definitely not have been as wet and eroded out here 200, 300 years ago. But this is looking decent. Well, it took a while, but I think I found a genuine stitch of old road. It's rock shouldered, I don't know, less than 100 feet, and it took just about a mile to get to something we could see of evidence. Yeah, it's just leading right back down to the river. See where it's open down there? Wet. But that's pretty clear. It's funny, all the way behind us, nothing, and then it just appeared. So I walked a bit further down. What was left of the old road is beside the river. Turned it on, and that's a lot of noise. $70. Let's see. Loggers Landing, Hunter's Cabin, or other. Bottle cap, yeah, other. Oh, old cans. I guess it could be a cabin site, could be a logger's landing. Nobody's gonna travel this far out just to dump stuff. And a bullet. Look at this. Just slightly up the hill, right behind the pit of noise. Nice old wall. And as usual, with whatever that is, cabin site loggers landing, people went where other people have gone. I'm assuming that's the inside, because this side has the river and it just, you know, goes down into wetland. I guess we'll go in there and look around. Well, it's not good looking land by any means, but somebody walled it off for a reason. Maybe animals. Well, I don't walk too far. And there's the corner. We came from that direction. Maybe 5 minutes. It's kind of a small square, which is interesting. Out in this crap. Walls and stacks. Actually, it's a pretty busy looking area. I mean, how bad was this land not hundreds of years ago that you were taking the time to pick a few up and stack them? And we are, again, kind of in a corner, but it just doesn't look good. There's rocks protruding everywhere. Could have been a pasture. Well, just keep heading up. Still cool. Nice end stone. Nice end stone. That is a proper break for in and out to this. It's definitely wet down in there. Well, all we can do is keep moving. I don't know, nothing's popping out other than that. Skirting the flooded out section. Oof. And I'm all hung up in the trees. Okay. More walls up ahead. I think we're just in old flooded out farmland. Yeah, I'd say the middle of this square was that low-lying now marshland right there. Well, that is better. So, as I go throughout the day here, walking in between, I'm usually swinging, just not filming it because, you know, it's just going on and on. But I haven't heard anything. Nothing. No nails, no ammo, no oxen shoes. And since we've entered this one, the ground is actually pretty nice, comparatively speaking. And there's a signal. Probably projectile related. Yep. Well, first shotgun Willie. Beautiful walls out here. As you can see, they're zigzagging all over the place. But for the life of me, I can't figure it out. It's very hilly, and they're not straight. That one goes down, curves away, and then ends. It's just open on that end. And then, as you can see, the one that goes up the hill goes up the hill. But that's a lot of small rocks. Actually, does it continue on? It does continue on after the T. Wild. Oh, another big proper break in this wall. Like 2 rods wide, 16 feet, some change. Huh. Again, decent land. Just dead quiet. No signs of cellar holes. Well, proper break opens up in this way, so swing and walk. Yep, Willie. Yep, same signal, same find. Yep. I've been following a trail of them. Well, that can't be good. I've just been heading straight from that proper break. I'm probably not a quarter of a mile, but maybe 2/10, and it's turning into logging ruts on this side. Sheet metal. We are hearing more things. And rocks. Yes, it's under the rock. What is that? Do you see it? Oh, no way. That's a coin. It's a silver coin. And if I'm seeing that correctly, hold on, let me get the camera down here. It is something that I have not dug in, well, since my first year of detecting. It's a trime. Holy crap. Wow. Alright, let me clean that properly so I don't scratch the crap out of it. Wow! That is friggin' great. So, I think we're in the 12th season. Actually, maybe it was my second year that I found one, but it's only been one. And we just rarely ever see these come out of the ground. Oh my God, that's beautiful. Alright, I think she's clean enough to show you. 1852. I'm thrilled. After walking who knows how many miles. Bam. And you know what's funny? It's just, it was in the pile of rocks here. So I started way back, came through the proper break. It kind of had a cart path feel to it. Then it just started getting into like loggers ruts and hugged right up against this wall. So I started right there. Figured hit the wall. Boom, boom, boom. And there's like a fallout of it, the wall that is, and there it was. Wow. So my guess is we've been just walking through the butt end of a farm, which I can't seem to locate the center spot of where the house was, or these are just all old auxiliary pastures. A couple of them had a field feel to it, but that was a lucky break. Well, with that, and I just checked the distance that I've accumulated, I've done 5 miles. We're almost at that 4-hour mark again. But today I couldn't set myself up for a loop because of where I had to cross the river. So, in and out, it's not like I went 5 miles out, but a lot of zigging and zagging with the walls. What a way to end. It goes to show you, it's out there. Follow the walls. So, I'm going to have to come back to this area and pick up in the next video, because I think we're getting somewhere. We're getting onto something. It's day 3. Back to the abyss. So, I just walked 30 minutes, 1 mile. 30-minute mile. It's kind of a bit on the slow side, but it's kind of rough out here. In the last video, I had spent hours and miles out here walking the walls and in between, you know, looking for old places. And we came to this wall, which just a little bit of the ways back, I dug that trime. Whoa, that was fantastic. So as you can see, I've returned. I'm back on the wall, and we're just going to continue on from here because we were starting to pick up things bit of sheet metal, shotgun shells, so people have been able to find their way in here, which, as I've explained, when you find areas of accessibility, that's a good thing. And obviously, old walls, that's a good thing. All right, let's see what happens today. Probably. A casing. Different one. There's the projectile. Well, that figures. The wall ends. But the work continued. There's some stacked rocks, and there's a pile off to the right. But again, as I've said, out here, things feel incomplete. Well, for the hell of it, we'll go on this side of the wall and go up a ways and see what it looks like. Well, I just went a long time without nothing. And it's still ammo. Wow. Well, this wall is not doing anything for us. It just keeps going. But you've seen what I have found, and that's probably about 45 minutes. So it had ended way back there, and this way it just keeps going. I think we're gonna have to change course, because I seem to be getting nowhere. Yeah, we'll move. Well, there's a change. So our wall just funnels down to here. I see a lot of up and a lot of thick. It's been pretty clean walking all this stretch, but no signals. Yeah, actually, now that I crouch down a bit, the wall's off. We're going that way. Today I'm going to try to make a loop of it into parts we have not been. Yesterday I really thought we were getting into an area, but I think that coin was just a lucky find. Walls will do that to you, or for you. Huh. It's nice out here. And that's what's mind-boggling and confusing about places like this. For New Hampshire land, this is fantastic. It's flat. I don't even see any rocks. Probably on a sand deposit. But no signs of old activity. No walls, nothing. But yet back where we were, it was rough. And there are the walls. Yeah, this is very cool. There's always that chance too, the walls are far out beyond from where we can see them. This might be the end of this plateau. Yep. Back down we go. Wow, I'm really surprised that that's not worked. There's not even anything out here on the edge before it drops. I'll tell you, one contributing factor for this being so nice, it has not been logged. I haven't seen one stump that whole time. Yeah, it's great. You can just see through the forest. Oh, wait, and I see wall right off in that direction. Have no idea where the hell we are, but we have wall. 25 feet. Well, yep. That was about a foot down. Oxen shoe. Depth, plowing, better than the last wall. I think it's another shoe. Yeah, good soil. Oh, it's not a shoe. It's a little hinge. Hey. Good signs. People were out here. Or at least they were losing things. A hinge, I mean, I guess it could have come off a wagon. Alright. That's loud. Oh, look at that. China. A shard. Wow. Didn't expect that. That's a plate of sheet metal. Still, today I think we're on to something. That's a few things in a small area in a short time. You can definitely tell it's been worked. The ground is just fairly clean, really clean actually I should say, and the soil is just beautiful. An awful lot of nail iron. Oh, that's a thick piece of iron. It's kind of flat. I don't know if it's from a pot or not. But this is good. I think we will stay in this general area for a bit. Melted lead. It's kind of adding up. I like that. Well, let's hope for the best. Come on, roots. It's green. What is that? there's a thing. Huh. I have no idea. But it's cool looking. And it has to be old. Well, if it was not for the concentration of iron, and it is concentrated, I would think this stuff was field debris just kind of spread about, but so far everything has been right around here, but they're not popping out like super easy. I don't know, but we found it. Sheet metal. Oh wow, there's some evidence. I didn't even see it when I set up the camera. People doing things. So, a wagon wheel. This is actually the tire. Right up against the rock wall. Huh. That is pretty awesome. Yeah. Too far to trek that baby out, which is rather unfortunate. Whoops. Which is rather unfortunate because I do like to save these when I can. We'll put it back in the wall. Well, that's it for today's excursion. Because it's been about 4 hours and I've walked a little bit over 5 miles, still have to get out of here. So, do you see what I'm saying about this place and how I said things, areas seem incomplete? We find this little flat area, nicely groomed, 2 walls, the one we crossed into, or from, and the one where the wagon wheel was, and then the iron floor was, I don't know, 100 feet off from either one, and a few things. It's just very peculiar out here. You find these little spots where people came in and it was like they were here for a short amount of time because nothing's finished. Here we go, day 4 in the abyss. Starting out on a nice rock-lined, shouldered cart path, and leaving it. There we go. In. Hopefully that was the about right spot. So what I'm trying to do is, in the last video, the area we were in, where we were finding some things, I had come in from the south quite a distance. Today I'm coming in from the top. Yes, I'm definitely heading east at the moment, but it's all wet over there, so here we go. Trying to get to the connection of where we were yesterday. Huge gap. See what's in between. Lots of trees. It's rough over here. Ooh, that's a lot of rock. There we go. We finally reached some wall. And I hope that this side is not the inside, you know, farm-wise, as it was bad. Well, I guess we'll see when we look over the other side and see if it's just as bad. Well, yeah, but no. Wow. Talk about some texture. So, we just came in from this direction. We landed right on a T. So there is a split. I have a feeling we're in sheep country. It's rough. Rugged. Well, we'll turn it on. I think finding anything out here would be an absolute miracle. Now, just to decide which way to go. Well, that was a long stretch in between. So I went all the way up the hill and then came all the way down the hill. And the rock wall I was following crossed this cart path. A ways back there, I found an open break, started walking in, and it cleared right up. So here we go with another bit that's left over. Because back there was pretty eroded, but the break in the wall made me go this way. That's clean. So, we'll see where this goes. Well, it's getting nice out here. Well, I walked to the tail end of up here, and there is a bit of wall, and that's definitely enough walking for now. I've been out here for a long time. Just haven't been filming much because it's just a lot of void. All right, well, let's swing around here for a few. Well, I walked the wall all the way down to a corner for a signal. It's not a nail. It's a good piece of metal. Almost has that shoe buckly innard feel to it, but it's thin. Oh. Son? Nope. Nice. 4-hole sewing button. Thank you. Beautiful. Well, that was interesting. A little piece of something and a nice button. Well, it almost never fails. Get into a corner and find things. I've been walking for probably, I don't know, 10, 12 minutes. The land definitely keeps changing. But it does seem to be getting better in here. That definitely made it better. Just literally feet away. It's a glob of melted lead. But things. It's actually right beside where the first button was. Is it a button? It is. Huh. Oh, look at that. It was a 2-hole next to the 4-hole. Good thing I checked. Same spot. I keep filling it in and I keep hearing things. I think it's another button. It is. And it's a different one. Different size and everything. Now how peculiar is that? Well, before we fill it in again this time, let's check it. exactly the same spot, but close enough. Well, that's a little nail. That couldn't have been that signal. Wow. So it's another button, right? But kind of guessing by the ones with the holes in them, they're not as old as this one. Yeah, this has an early 1800s look to it. It's got some text on the back. Shankage. And a little design on the front, like a snowflake. They definitely seem to be of different ages. That is killer. Number 1. Number 2. Number 3. And number 4. I guess they could all be of the same era, but they're all different. That's for certain. Corners. Impacted bullet. Good signal. I don't know. Definitely quite a bit of stuff though. Jeez. And another nail. Well, I'm gonna leave the corner. Keep heading down the other wall now for a bit and see what happens. That was fun and interesting. So 4 completely different buttons. 2 pieces of melted stuff, bunch of nails, an impacted bullet, which sounded great. Who knows when that's from, but yeah. Let's keep moving, see what happens. Getting not so clean. That sounds large. Huh. It is, it's can junk jammed in at the wall. Nothing exhilarating, but we are out here to see what's out here, and circumstances, right? Right. Well, that was a whole lot of walking once again. The land over here is definitely not as good as where we have been in past days. Yeah, you come into some spots and it's good, it's decent. You know, it's near a wall, so it makes it look like it was cultivated, but not so much. And again, the walls, pretty much everything I follow is open-ended. We have corners and tees. We had that great corner today. Everybody makes it down to the corners, it seems. That was fun, but again, incomplete. All right, new approach today. So with what we have been doing, looking for old places, home sites, I've seen a lot of things out here. And a lot of bits and pieces, walls and small sections of improved land. Well, I've been thinking about it. And I've come back to one of the areas that had been logged. And I think I'm directly where the logger's landing was. You can kind of just tell by the thick pines. That's why I did the pan and the swing around. Because it's been, you know, changed. But the thing is, and this is what I was thinking about, is we're on top of a hill, so that's always a good thing. But these walls up here have a lot of rocks. And that land is decent. So maybe we have actually just been, well, walking around where a cellar hole was. And it's no longer. So that's it. I'm starting here. I just have that feeling we've been in close proximity of an old homestead. Oh yeah, as I break through that brush, look at this wall. Wow. Now this is the most significant sign of clearing I've seen in this area. That's 12 feet across right there. And from what I'm seeing, it didn't come from that side. It came from this side. Well, I just turned it on about 6 feet ago. Or was it? Let's see. Might just be the usual no matter where you go. Find. Ah, brick. That's a thing. So, right in where this wall is heavily worked, a chunk of brick and whatever that is. It almost looks like a saddle badge. It's got pins on the back, or where there were some type of stud or pin, and the shape is kind of familiar. Nice. So hopefully we have found the right spot, good area. inches. It's deep. That is it. Looks somewhat modern, right? Oh, that's another thing. Oh, there's stuff in here. I haven't been walking around too long. 10 minutes maybe? Yep. Washer excitement. Thanks. Well, that figures. I have to say though, the ground is fairly quiet. This grow back doesn't look all that old to me. But again, so here I am in the corner. Look at all the rocks. Well, there's your 10% chance of rain. There's no leaves on the trees. Give me canopy, so we'll have to sit under a pine for now. So that the camera doesn't get wet. Yeah, I think this was logged, I don't know, 40 years ago. It's definitely shifted. There's piles of dirt pushed. Old farm, logged, cleared. They could have even stripped topsoil. That happens. If it's good enough, they'll just scrape the top 6 inches and pull it out, and kind of makes it impossible to know when you're walking around. All right, I'm gonna sit here for a few and wait for that to let up. Right on it. Oh. There we go. It's a snap button. Nice. And as you can see, and here, it has stopped raining. And I just simply moved out of that square, and it was a complete square, into the next one, where it doesn't look like it's really been shifted. And there we go. Well, it was something. It actually has a little bit of fancy design around the edges. It's paper thin. Sounds like it's on the surface. Well, there you go, some of that. Right. Well, right up to the back wall of this one. Can't be good. Nope. 22 slug. And then, with as beautiful as it's been over here, not so much over there. That cannot be good. Love the number. I just walk the wall until there's a logger's break. We're right in a rut. And that signal might be good. Wouldn't be the first time we've pulled something great out of logger's ruts. Well, it is a coin, I think. Yep, it's small though. Oh God. Memorial. I'm assuming from the loggers in the rut. Jeez. It's rotten. Can't even see the date. Nice, huh? We'll take it. Well, I guess we'll follow the ruts. Hey, there's a thing. They're all things, but, you know, this is a better thing. Huh. It's a clasp of sorts. Yep. Oh, what a mix today. Right up in this pile of rocks. Fieldstones, remarkable with all the land clearing and rock stacking. I haven't dug one oxen shoe today. Well, that was 4 hours of walking and swinging. We did find things. They're all things, right? I think where I began is where it ended. That was the center. So I had followed a trail, could have been the old wagon trail in, up to that spot. It was completely dozed, walked around it, and it was just a big clump, dead center of all these squares, which were beautiful, and lots of rocks. So, I mean, I say we're looking for a home site. We're definitely on a home site. Definitely an old farm. But the cellar holes out here, if they were cellar holes, could have even been just a dwelling dropped on the ground. Seem to be gone, pushed, and the land definitely seems reworked. That was so slick, I almost greased myself going back for the camera. Whoa. So let's see where this trail I spotted on the other side of the river takes us. Whoa. Slick. It downpoured this morning, so everything's pretty mucky. That's interesting. So, as we know, it's all about reading the landscape history out here. Old New Hampshire woods. You never know. So I thought it was on a cart path, which it may very well be an old wagon trail. It's been rock lined. It just left the river, but it's turning to a single track. So I guess we'll just turn it on here, start swinging, keep going, and see what happens. Well, I am picking up bits of iron as I go. As we continue further, that's a little bit more than just a few nails. That's big. Oh, look at that. Well, I think we just stumbled onto an interesting area. It's part of a stove. As you can see, that's where the plate would go. Well, you never know until you go. And it doesn't look like anything special, particular. Just, again, it pops out when you're swinging. There's definitely the old sign of logging. So, could be that. Either way. Let's see what we can find. Wow. One of them. Oh, that's a casing. So, I don't know what we're on to. Hunter's cabin, old logger's landing, but it is very noisy, which is good. Round nail. And a casing. ash. Oh, oxen knob. Huh. Well, a couple thoughts. We're definitely on old ground. So, who knows? If they logged it 100 years ago, they would have been using oxen still to drag logs. And they logged through here a bit ago, 5 years. So there's enough of a gap in between the last time it was logged. But that's a cool find. I'll definitely stay here and tickle this place for a bit, because it's something. Oh, look at that. There's one protruding. Oof, ain't coming out. It's pretty spread about. I've walked probably, I don't know, 60 feet in every direction from where I dropped my pack, and I'm still picking up noises. Clear bottle glass. So, we're going after a bottle cap? Nope. It's a button, and I think I know what it is. Yep. Brookfield. Definitely seen these before. Cool. So, I still really don't know. Loggers Landing, Hunter's Cabin. Could be either or. It is larger than I thought from when I had said about 60 feet out. I just really moved around. And there's stuff spread about, but this is definitely the center of it. This is where the stove parts are, and the button. So I just looked it up real quick, and those Brookfield buttons are like overall type things, and I saw some from the 1920s, so fairly old. It's funny, with these places that we find, stoves are never in like one big piece, chunk. They're always blown apart and spread out all over the place. Like 99.9% of the time. Well, into the pile. Well, that's a high signal, and here comes our 10% chance of rain. Hope it doesn't open up. salamander. It's hailing off something. Oof. Wow. That's a big nut. I guess I'll move into the tree line as much as I can. And remember when we started this expedition into the abyss, I said we had about 7 or 10 days left before everything started to bloom. Almost. So I still have no canopy to keep me dry if it does start pouring, but I don't know. Let's check this area. At least the rain didn't last more than a few minutes. Could still come back. Huh. That looks like dissolving brick. Oh wow, that's a big one. I can't even free the thing. It looks like on modern day devices, it looks like the power button symbol. Power in the relics. Well, a cool place nevertheless. Somebody was out here 100 years ago. Just really surprised we haven't mustered up a wheat penny or something better. So right where the new logging strip goes through is where all the, pretty much the iron and big chunks are. And then as you get back in here to the tree line, there's definitely, you know, old stumps, discarded logs, and it's just quiet. And really, I don't think going in that direction we're gonna get anywhere. And then where the trail cart path came out of there, this is where it ends. It doesn't continue. I did look around. Nothing. Thunder. I had a thought. I was like, you know, I walked back towards the river a bit, and I just walked over towards the river, and there's noise over here. What the hell is that? So yeah, I'm a ways away from, it's a bar, a rod, tube, pipe. I'm a ways away from where we've been working that area. Oh, it's a pipe. It's hollow. Jesus. That's interesting. You just never know what you're going to find out here and where. Oh yeah, there's a lot of noise down here. My thought was, when I was back there, you were out here 100 years ago, you're going to take advantage of that river. It's going to be a necessity. Here we are. Stuff in the ground. Right. I don't think it's a projectile. Well, that's odd. Huh. Just another chunk of something, but a lot of signals right here. Whatever it is, I can't move it. It almost looks like a massive shovel. Oh, it's grown into the tree. That's why I can't move it. I think it is. Wow. I may have to get out of here soon. I don't know if you can hear that thunder rolling. Classic. Must be a slug in the wood. Well, I'm gonna get out of here while I can. What a cool find today. That's what I keep saying about this place. You never know what you're gonna find. And you know what? I would not have even thought about it unless I had this on, because the ground was nothing remarkable. It doesn't even look cleared. The stumps are everywhere. And you know, you probably think, why is there ammunition and all that stuff at a loggers camp? It's everywhere. It does not matter where you go in the woods of New Hampshire. And it is very common, you know, at loggers camps, never mind hunting cabins. But yeah, definitely a cool find. Somebody was out here, or probably a group of people 100 years ago, pulling trees. Well, that was a terrible entrance, and exactly a 30-minute mile, but I made it. Alright, so a few videos ago in the abyss, I found that one area at the end of the day where there was a lot of nail iron in the ground and a few things, random things. But they were old. So I've returned, because like I said, it was at the end of the day. I only spent a bit of time, and there was stuff in the ground, including the wagon wheel up against the rock wall. And I've just moved over to the side a bit because we have a small brook. Just figured I'd start near the water source. Maybe. That's an iron button. Nice. That was 6 inches down too. Good evidence. You can see right where the shank was. The only thing is that took about 20 minutes swinging through the nails because it's iron and iron, but again, deep. Another nail. But they are square nails. Well, finally in the mess of the brush, a pretty solid signal. Pretty much everything else has just been negotiating with the nails and it's a heavy iron core, but nothing has really been standing out. At least not like this. Don't be Willie. That's a nail. And that is an upholstery tack. Which makes me wonder now, was the first thing not an iron button? Could have been one of these. Well, they had upholstery, or at least leather of sorts. Again, another one. And another. And another one. Oh, I must have been haloing off of it, and it is a hinge. So that's the second hinge, you know, between this trip and the other one. Completely different. Structure stuff. Oh, might be another eager nail. Whatever it is, it's deep. Oh, nice. It's only a little piece, but it is part of an escutcheon. I would say that was 8 inches deep. Wow. Nice. Huh. It's more than 8 inches. That was pinpointer deep. Wow. Well, that was not easy. It took about 2 hours to get that stuff out of the nails. But I think it's pretty convincing. So here's the wagon wheel, the tire. That was against the wall. Still here. Probably be here forever. So I've moved over. Figured work the iron bed for a bit, which we did. And then this section by the wall. Because it appears to be the only thing that was worked, or at least changed. And there's a lot of small rocks in there. But we'll give it a go. I don't know. I thought it was a toe tap at first. Man, that was deep. 20 minutes. There's definitely scattered nail iron. The wall ends. It's no more than 100 feet. Again, odd. You know, I was looking at the screen as I'm swinging over that, and it said zinc. Oh, it's not a penny. Oh, it's a button. Nice. Very nice. I mean, look at it. I thought it was going to be a memorial, but there's the shank. Beautiful. Mission accomplished, and that took a long time. And with the text on the back, I think that's the first thing we can actually date here, from here, which would make this 1820s to 1840s, somewhere in that window. Very cool. Well, that is it, my friends, for this stretch of the Abyss, the New Hampshire forest. You have to walk 20 to 30 minutes down from every angle to get down here, except for that one farm on top of the hill where it had been dozed a few videos back. But an odd place, again, bits and pieces of rock walls, some stacked rocks, some cleared areas, and then the occasional hunter's cabin site. The logger's landing was cool. And I knew the finds would be thin, but nothing is super predominant out here, and that's what makes it really interesting. And with that, I'm out and up. See you next time.